Hello, my loves. Welcome back. Today I am going to show you a spell for fidelity and loyalty with your partner. This is a Hold My Man spell. This is actually a spell that I'm doing for a client who did give me permission to record me preparing her candle. And the purpose of the spell is just what it says, hold your man. So keeping your partner attracted to you, primarily keeping the sexual attraction there and keeping your partner faithful and loyal and not to stray from the relationship. This particular client, her partner, they were separated for a while. He was unfaithful and they separated, and they've now worked things out and have reconciled from the previous candle work that we did, and now she wants to ensure that that doesn't happen again and that they're able to go ahead and move forward in the relationship. For some individuals that are in long distance relationships, or maybe your partner travels for several weeks or several months out of the year, this can be a very useful spell just to make sure that your partner does continue to stay faithful to you when you are apart. Oftentimes also in some relationships, the sexual energy can kind of begin to wear or maybe kind of dull down a little bit over time. The same old thing, you might want to spice it up some. And this will also help to ensure that that doesn't happen. So with this particular client, her and her partner, they are in a long distance relationship. She's away at school right now, so there's been a lot of factors in that, and that's why we are doing this particular spell. Again, some people just want to make sure that their partner is true to them, whatever the reason may be, but this is a very, very effective spell for just keeping that energy flowing between the two of you. Okay, so a few things that you're going to need for this spell is a genital candle. I have a penis candle here. This spell can be done with a vagina candle if your partner is a female. However, that does alter the herbs and oils that are used. If you guys want me to post a video on how to do that, then let me know in the comment box and I will. But for the sake of this video and because this is specifically for my client, we're going to be using this penis candle. I have 3 sets of herbs here that I use. I tend to work with things in odd numbers. I have some licorice root. Licorice root is very good for fidelity, for lust. Let me see if I can shine the light on it just a little bit. For lust, and when I say lust, not in a negative sense, but she wants him to constantly think about her, continue to be attracted to her when she is spending the time with him when she's out of school. So she's out of school, she's going to see him actually for about a week while she's on break. So she wants to make sure that the sexual energy is very high, that he still wants her in that way, because let's just be honest here. You can have a beautiful relationship and connect with a person on many levels, but intimacy, romance, and sexual compatibility and sex in general is important in a relationship. It may not be the most important, but it is very important. Okay, so some licorice root. This is also a commanding herb. So we're going to be using this. It's going to kind of serve double duty for both commanding this energy and commanding her partner to be faithful to her, as well as increase the desire for love, the desire to be sexual with her, and for fidelity. We want to make sure that he remains faithful and that he does not go outside of the relationship while they are separated for however many weeks or months while she's away at school. The next herb that I'm going to be, or root I should say, excuse me, I said herb, these are actually roots. The next root that I'm working with is cardamon. Cardamon seeds. These are one of my favorites. I use these a lot in my reconciliation spells for couples. And cardamon is for love, again, for that lust and that sexual desire to kind of sweeten up the passion and the I guess, yeah, desire for one another. It's for reconciliation and fidelity. Because they just recently got back together and we want to make sure that they continue to stay together, I'm using the cardamon. The next thing that I'm going to be using is Orris Root, O-R-R-I-S. Orris Root is absolutely one of my, by far, favorite love herbs to use. I use these in all of my love spells, all of my reconciliation spells. This is a powerful herb. It's also, or powerful root, excuse me. It's also referred to as Queen Elizabeth root. This has been used for decades in hoodoo. It's very well known for women using this to keep their partners faithful and to attract a new partner. So attracting someone or keeping the current partner that you have, specifically to keep them smitten and just enthralled and just in love, and they just want you, like, I want her, okay? Orris root, this one is in the powder form. It does come in the root, so if you want, or if that's all you have access to, you can use that, and I will show you how. However, I personally prefer to use the powder because we're going to dress the candle with it. The next thing we're going to be using is a conditioning or conjure oil, anointing oil. And I'm going to try to see if I can get this a little bit closer to the light so you can see it. Maybe, maybe not. Hold on. So this is Hold My Man oil. This oil I make and is available on my website. It smells absolutely amazing. I'm actually really, really proud of myself with this one, and I'm not just saying that because I made it, but it is a beautiful oil. It has a very seductive scent, something between a sweet and a warm aroma. There is a little bit of sandalwood in here, and sandalwood is one of the most powerful love and commanding oils that you can use. It also has some roots that are specific to romance and commanding together, so that's why we're using this. This is optional. This is a Follow Me oil. This is one of my newest oils that I have made as well. Again, this smells very, very good. This is more of a unisex oil, so I made this for both. It can be used for both men and women, no matter if your partner is male or female. And because it does smell amazing, I did put a roller ball on it. Oh my goodness. And the Follow Me oil is, again, we're going to use this just to add a little kick because we want him to continue to want and desire her. Again, in a long distance relationship, and when there's weeks at a time that you're apart and you're not being able to be with your partner physically, we just don't want anything to kind of separate that. So we want him to still be chasing her, still want her, and build that anticipation of seeing her. So, you know, where he's constantly thinking and waiting and he's holding off, you know, he's not being with anyone else because he's holding out to be with her. So we're going to use some Follow Me oil. This too is available. Both of these oils are available on my website if you would like them. I just made some over the new moon. I made them in very small batches, so they are fresh, and I do have a few bottles left. I put them on Facebook the other day, so they're going quickly, but I do have a few bottles left. So if you're interested, you can visit my website or email me for an order. All right, so now let's get into how to prepare your candle. Now, what you want to do, first of all, this candle, you want to cleanse your candle and all candles before you work with them. If you haven't watched my video on how to properly prepare that candle, you can do so by clicking the link below. I will make sure that I include that at the end of this video. This candle has already been smudged, so I use some incense smoke. I use some, it's by the brand Him. It's called Love and Sex. And I burned that and I ran this through the incense smoke, and I went ahead and I cleansed this candle. So the next thing you're going to do is you want to inscribe your partner's name and then your name on top of your partner's on this candle. The way we're going to do that is from the bottom all the way to the top. So I'm going to do that now. And I'm not going to, actually I'm going to do it this way. I'm left-handed, so it's easier for me this way. I'm not going to show you the names just to protect confidentiality, but you can just imagine. So we're going to do the name of the partner first. So you want to put his name. And you can also include birthdays. That is helpful. And as you're doing this, you are thinking about your partner being enchanted by you, your partner being sexually attracted to you, your partner being faithful to you. And you can recite these things as well as you're preparing the candle, or you can think it. So I've written the name on here from bottom to top, and now I'm going to write on top of the name that I put on top of her partner's name, I'm going to write her name. Okay, so we're going to do that now. And I typically write, so I'm writing her name larger than his because I want her entire name, all the letters to cover, because we are dominating the energy, or commanding, I should say, the energy to be only towards her. We don't even want him to get aroused or turned on by looking at another woman. We don't even want him to want to look at another woman. In fact, don't even watch any porn, just wait. And these are some of the things that I would typically be saying while I'm dressing the candle. So I'm thinking it. I will recite those things after I turn off the video, but I just want to show you guys how to prepare it. So I'm going to take my oils. This one does not have a roller top. It's just like so. And this one, I'm going to take the roller ball off, which is very simple. You can simply remove it. Very easy to do. And I like to hold my oils for a second and just kind of think about what the purpose of it is. You tell it what it's supposed to do. You're going to pour some into your hand. Okay. And I like to rub my hands together and kind of rub up that oil, rub up that energy, getting that juju together, and we're going to anoint the candle from bottom up. Just like so. Just as if you were being sexual with your partner and you were satisfying him with your hands from bottom up, and you may want to say a few words of power. You can do this a couple of times. You can get it nice and get it nice and juicy, nice and oily. And you want to love it. You're putting love into it. You are attracted. You just, oh my goodness, this man belongs to you, and everything about him, his sexual energy, his penis is yours. He will not go with anybody else. He is just head over heels crazy about you and cannot wait to be with you again. And then you want to take the Follow Me oil. Again, this Follow Me oil is optional. You can use it or you cannot use it. It's completely up to you, but I'm using both. And we're going to do the same thing from the bottom up. And we just love this penis. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. It feels good. And it loves us back. And he is going to be faithful and just crazy. Like the moment that he sees you, he's going to be aroused and turned on. He won't even be able to be turned on by anybody else. He won't even be able to know what to do with himself till he sees you. In fact, we want to make him so attracted to you that he has to come see you. He's like, I can't even function until I'm with you again. Okay. So now that's how we're going to anoint it with the oils. I'm going to put the top back on so I don't accidentally knock this over on my beautiful cloth here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I just I rearranged my studio, and this is my table where I do readings. My altar has candle work on it, so I couldn't show it on the altar right now because of that, so I did it over here. I just don't want to get anything on my tablecloth. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cardamom seeds, and I'm going to put them, I think I'm going to do 7, and I'm going to put them in a clockwise motion because we're bringing in the energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. Guess it really was meant to be because 7 of them came out. And then I'm going to take my licorice root. And if you notice, I didn't wipe the oil off my hand simply because I want the herbs and the root to also have the oil on. So I'm going to take a little bit. I don't count out the licorice root because they're so small. So I just take a handful. Okay. If you can see that, just a handful. And I'm going to go around as I'm thinking or speaking my words of intention, which is to be faithful, to love me, to be sexually attracted. Well, not to me, but this is what you would be saying, but more or less to my client. Okay. I'm gonna put that on. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the Orris Root powder. The Orris Root is also available. It will be available on my website starting today. So if you want to order a little package of Orris Root, you can, but you should be able to find this at a local Botanica in your area. Then we're just gonna sprinkle some Orris Root right on the top. It's very powdery, it's very fine. And some may fall down, that's fine. Right on the top like so, okay? I don't know if you guys can see that. But now we have the herbs, it's anointed with the oil, and we have the Orris Root. And now, if this spell was for me, then I would be saying, you know, the person's name and this is what I want for me. But because it's for a client, I'm going to take this over to my altar, recite the partner's name, recite her name, both of their birthdays, and speak the words of intention. So very simple, highly effective spell. Highly, 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 highly effective. Works very well. You will notice, you will see, I've done this a few times. I did this for a client actually who ended up proposing to her, which wasn't really part of the plan. Not to say she didn't want that, but that wasn't the purpose of the candle. But that's what happened as a result of this. Where you want to write the name, anywhere you want on the candle is fine. You could even write it 3 times. So you could write your partner's name on the candle 3 times and your name on top, either way. But as long as your name is covering theirs. You have the roots down in the bottom, and then you're going to go ahead and take your match and light your candle. Allow it to burn all the way down until it's completed. So this type of candle, depending on how fast it burns, it will probably burn for a couple of hours. And I'm using a bowl specifically. You can use a tray or a plate if you want, but I'm using the bowl. It's going to collect the wax, to collect down in the bottom, and then it will continue to kind of just melt away. So it'll be like a little jar candle. And the next thing with the wax, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to I'm going to send the wax to her because she wants to keep it under her mattress. So if you do this spell, then you want to take the wax and place it under your mattress where your partner is, you know, where the two of you are going to be intimate. You can place it under your mattress. Again, because they are in a long distance relationship, this is why I'm sending it to her. I wouldn't necessarily do it. It would be different if it was her partner, they were seeing each other like once a week or something like that, and his energy was there in her bed consistently, then that would be different. But because of the distance and they only get to see each other, I think it's like once a month or every 6 weeks or something like that. As a courtesy, I'm going to mail this wax to her. It's not something I typically ever do. I don't normally mail wax. I bury it or things like that. But in this particular situation, she did ask, and I'm happy to go ahead and do that for her because it just gives her an opportunity to kind of work with it a little bit more. Okay? All right, my dear. So this is the Hold My Man spell. I hope that this is helpful. I hope you give this a try. If you do, please let me know if you've done a similar spell like this and you've had results. Leave that in the comment box as well. Once again, my loves, Jasmine Atten, Mystic at the Crossroads. If you'd like to speak to me for a consultation, reading, or spiritual service, you can do so by visiting my website at oneritualaway.com. Select the option for client consultation or spells and services. Again, the oils are available on my website as well if you'd like to place an order. And I will talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.